welcome you to NAMM 2021. Cheers! Yay!
Anatomy of Sound picks are known for having three-dimensional contours on their picks. And these contours provide a nice tactile feel to your pick design that is ergonomic, high performance, and has great tone. For the past several months, we have been developing a brand new signature pick design. We were experimenting with thicknesses and contours and beveling. We played around with the thicknesses to get the best ergonomics. We played around with the contours to get the best feel. And we worked on getting the bevels in the right places so that the pick goes through the strings smoothly and with great tone. After a lot of back and forth, we finally arrived to the final prototype. Now this prototype has the same material as the blue picks, but I specially requested the purple tint. So spinning this pick around, you will see the final thickness and bevels and contours of the pick. These prototypes were made with a 3D printer, but the final production version will be injection molded. Now these picks have a great name, and unfortunately I can't tell you just yet. Okay guys, I'm gonna go break these picks in.
Hey everybody, my name is Benedict Quinn and I'm a jazz guitarist and producer from Devon, and I'm currently studying in London, doing jazz guitar at the Royal Academy of Music. Anyway, I thought I should tell you about an invisible injury I had 2 years ago. It's called repetitive strain injury, and I got it April 2019. I was just doing an incredible amount of practice to try and catch up with all my peers. You know, it's just that time of your life where you're just practicing like hell. 6 hours a day rehearsing, and I had like a week of gigs, and by the end of that week I was just in pain every day for months and months, and I just wish I never put myself in that situation, and I knew what I was doing would last this long, because I wouldn't have put myself through that if I had known. So there's just so much that you question when you're going through something like that, like if you'll ever be able to play music again. And that was just that was the worst time of my life. I thought I'd also talk a little bit about how Anatomy of Sound played a vital part in my recovery from RSI. They contacted me, I think, in late 2019, when I kind of got to the recovery stage of it, where I should be getting back on the guitar from resting and slowly building up all the minutes from like 1 minute a day to like 5 lots of 1 minute a day, and then 5 lots of 5 minutes a day, just like gradually building up those numbers. So they sent me a prototype of this jazz pick that they made, and I took it to my doctor, who's doing physiotherapy on me, and showed them the design of it and everything, and they agreed that it would definitely reduce tension whilst playing. The reason for it reducing tension, they said, was because of the thickness of the pick and the texture, which just meant that you don't have to think about it. It's just effortless having to hold this in your hand whilst playing. Unlike all the other picks that I used to use before, where you just had to like clench onto it and make sure you don't lose it down by your feet. And this is just another problem that I don't have to think about when you're playing live on stage. By reducing tension in your fingers and your forearm muscles, it allows you to play a lot longer because your arms don't need to do as much work for each strum, each pick, and all of that stuff. It's just so comfortable, you kind of just forget it's there. And it's just so reliable for all genres of music or whatever style you're playing, like if you're playing fast licks or if you're doing some strumming stuff. Like I've never once had any troubles with any licks or anything because this has just served me so well. after several months of using these picks and recovering, I finally made a full recovery by summer 2020, and I'm just so excited to get playing again live, and I'm sure all of you guys are too.
Hey.
Last year leading up to NAMM, I once again was over practicing. I had given myself tendonitis years ago from playing flamenco stuff and over practicing. I kind of felt like that was going to happen again. I was just on the verge of going into the tendonitis land. And Larry said, check out our new pick. So I worked in a big show called Le Rev. Steve McCulley was our, famous by the way, physical trainer, because there was athletes in this show. I brought this pick to him once and he freaked out, and he's not a guitar player. I didn't know why he freaked out. He said the reason why, with this being so thick, if you can see the contour, with this being so thick, I've got a white one right here too, it gives your brain more tactile information. You're holding something thicker, gives your brain more tactile information, and there's more connecting neuron-wise and all that stuff. He could speak to it more than I, but I can say that it is a great, for me practicing. I have taken on gypsy jazz gigs, but here's the white one, the softest material. Check out the difference in tone. Okay. That's a softer material. There is a bronze, I don't have it in front of me. I tend to use the black, harder. Pretty cool. All right. It's kind of cool. I can take one pick, one shape, and play a gig with all styles. Because that's kind of what I do. I play all styles, all genres. And I have in the past taken a bunch of picks and changed them. So I had this idea of this crazy progressive rock tune in my head, but I was working on some gypsy jazz stuff and some other non-metal stuff, and I just had to get this out of my head. So I went in my studio and laid this down, and what you're going to see is literally a few minutes after me making up this idea and kind of realizing it. These picks make everything easier. They make you play faster. Don't just trust me, you gotta try these picks out. But let me show you what I mean.
To me, it's really important to have reliable gear, whether I'm on stage or if I'm in the studio. And that's why I decided to start using these Heartbeat 3D jazz picks by Anatomy of Sound. I think these picks are the most comfortable I've ever tried. The grip is perfect and it doesn't slip, which is also really important to me if I'm in a recording session, or especially if I'm on stage and I'm like diving into the strings. You don't want your pick to slip away in the middle of a solo. So the grip makes a big difference. It also responds really well to the strings, and if you're playing dynamically, the pick will follow your movements. My favorite one so far out of the different thicknesses is probably the black one, but these other two picks are really good as well, and you can tell a big difference in the tone in them, which is super helpful for when you're in the studio and you're trying to lay down guitars, or if you're layering guitars and you want them to sound a bit different. Another thing that I really like about these picks is that the material is really sturdy and the tip and the edges remain sharp for a very long time. In the past, when I've been using other brands, I've been struggling a lot with that because I tend to play pretty hard sometimes when I'm on stage, and my picks get torn down straight away and I have to change picks all the time. But with these, I hardly ever have to change picks. I'm actually amazed by the quality and by the material. So that's a big plus. And if you want a pick that stays sharp for a long time, go with Anatomy of Sound. I also really want to say that I think Anatomy of Sound is a great company with fantastic customer service, and I'm really proud to be one of their artists. And I'm sure that if you get a chance to try one of these out, you'll get as stuck as I did the first time I tried it. And they have a lot of different models, so I'm sure you'll find yourself a new favorite. Keep on playing.
Hey there everybody, Brandon Coleman here, guitarist, composer, and producer in Cincinnati, Ohio. And I want to talk to you about some of my favorite guitar picks in the world, the Anatomy of Sound. I use the Heartbeat rigid jazz style pick, which is right here, and it's awesome. As soon as I tried it on my guitar, I was really blown away and knew that they were something special. The thing I really enjoy about these picks is the unique shape, this little heartbeat shape. Its 3D contours fit really nicely between your thumb and forefinger, and it keeps the slippage that I was experiencing with other similar style picks, it keeps that to a minimum. It really doesn't happen with this pick. I used to find myself having to reset, like it would always swirl around while I was playing, especially in intense passages, and that would get really frustrating. That doesn't happen with this pick. This pick stays put. This pick stays put. It's also very articulate, which I really enjoy. A lot of thicker picks and rigid picks don't have good articulation. They have the fatness, but you lose a certain crispy top end. I don't know whether it's the materials or the fact that it's rigid but also slightly flexible. It contributes that really bright articulation that you get from a thinner pick back in while getting the benefits of a thicker pick. It's a really best of both worlds scenario. Hope you guys are having a wonderful time at the virtual NAMM show, and please check out Anatomy of Sound. You're going to love them. Thanks a lot.
Hello everyone, my name is Guitarists and welcome to my video for the Anatomy of Sound guitar picks. I'm specialized in blues, rock and metal guitar string, which means that I'm looking for a guitar pick with a comfortable grip, a sharp tip and long life material. So the ergonomical design of the Heartbeat helps my thumb and index finger fit perfectly on the guitar pick, which also helps me play with better control, while at the same time I can keep my dynamics nice and even. The second thing is the sharp tip, which helps me play with better accuracy, especially when playing fast ones like this one. And the third thing is the long life material, which is also very important because I play almost every day for 6 hours or more, and the previous guitar picks that I had didn't last long. So the solution to this problem came with the Heartbeat guitar pick. For all these reasons, I believe that Anatomy of Sound is a game changer, and I encourage you to go check their website, choose your favorite guitar pick, and give them a try. Shred on!
Hey, I'm Nick Shaw, I'm one of the guitar players. My favourite Anatomy of Sound pick has to be the Heartbeat Jazz. It comes in rigid, medium and light to cover all those bases, from really digging in heavy strumming and picking through to nice light strumming on acoustic guitars. It's got a really nice pointy jazz tip for that precise picking, a really comfortable grip with a 3D finish, Like all Anatomy of Sound picks, the 3D finish is something that makes these picks really special. The 3D symmetrical design of this pick makes it really comfortable and avoids that problem of slipping out of your hands while you're playing. The indentation on both sides just sits really nice and comfortable between your finger and your thumb. So as you're picking away, it's just going to lock itself in place, it's not going to move. I really like that. I've been through, I don't know how many different styles of picks, different materials, different sizes, different thicknesses, and I've not come across anything as comfortable to use yet as the Anatomy of Sound Heartbeat Jazz. As well as being really comfortable, it's also really durable. Now, durability is obviously a really important feature when it comes to guitar picks, and I just burn through guitar picks for some reason, no matter what type of pick I use, what type of material it's made out of. But with these Heartbeat Jazz picks, they're extremely durable and hard wearing. I've played for hours with the same pick and it's still like brand new. I can't say that about anything else that I've used previously. The tone's still there, the shape's still there. What more can you ask for, really?
Hi, my name is Sam Petter Claesson. I'm a guitarist, musician, songwriter, producer, and a mixing engineer from the very south of Sweden in a small town called Ystad. Today I'm going to talk to you about the Anatomy of Sound 3D guitar picks and highlight some of my favorite features and design about these kind of picks. Fundamental idea of the Anatomy of Sound. The interior and dimensions of the edges of the guitar pick and the deep valley that my thumb sits in. These are the basic function, which is just brilliant in Anatomy of Sound. So this gives me the firm grip as long with the material of the pick that just gives me the grip and tone that I need in my guitar playing as well. And another brilliant thing about the AOS picks is that even though they are different models, they are color coded. So you have white ones, you have brown ones, and you have black ones. And you never need to compromise about the grip because the models are the same except the material and the flexibility of them, which gives you a different tone. So you can keep the grip but change the tone. And this is a super nice feature as a musician to be able to have one specific tone in the studio where you need like a full-on production, but when you're on the road touring or whatever, you might need a different kind of sound because you have different arrangements or something like that. And the thing is as well, not like a secret feature, but which I absolutely love about it as well. The grip and with the valley of the picks, it enables me to just have a firm grip at all time. I never compromise with the grip. It just sits perfectly in my hand. The thing is as well, because of the valley of the pick, super as well, I really have it under control between my fingers as well when I need to alternate between the picks and my fingers. Seamlessly change between these, and that's an amazing feature as well for me. Keep the edge, but as well keep the warmth of the guitar and my tone.
Hey guys, my name is Phoenix Knight. I am an Anatomy of Sound artist, and what I like in my pick is basically to not make things harder. And the more wear out I get, the more don't have enough energy to be as precise as I like to be, so I get sloppy and it just ruins the whole show. It just ruins the whole jam in general. So basically with these picks, you don't have to grip on them. Legit, it's like playing a cloud. And with that, you can focus more on playing, you can focus more on the notes that you're trying to hit without worrying about if your pick's going to be there with you. It just made it more fun to play again, because it didn't turn out to be like an exercise or, you know, display of brute force of how hard you can hold a pick. And it's like, oh, you can just play and worry more about making cool stuff.
Anatomy of Sound.
They're just great picks, and I highly recommend checking them out if you haven't already, and if you do, rock on.
I would like to finish with the following tip. Try AOS guitar picks.
So that's why I really love these picks, and I'm sure you'll love them too. Peace out.
A normal pick, it's flat because it's not a 3D pick.